A couple months ago, I heard a talk given by Rick Chapman that I found profound and timely. It had to do with our life with Baba. And I won't go into detail, but he talked about, of course, there's 3 stages. Baba says there's 3 stages in our life with him. The honeymoon phase, and then the long, long phase, which Rick categorized with D words. I think he used disappointment, discouragement, depression, and of course, the final culmination is realization. But anyway, I was impressed by what Rick said in terms of those D words, and this first poem utilizes them. Expect nothing else. Disgust, discouragement, despair. Embrace them all as the friends they are. Invite them to dinner. Enjoy their company. Don't forget depression, sitting in the dark corner. Pick up the check. Your destruction is assured. You signed on, so seal your lips. You asked for it the moment you beseeched the beloved to help you. Now the wrecking crew is here. Disassembling is the name of the game. Devastation is his due diligence. Expect nothing else. Until every desire is diminished, the candle of hope dimmed down, hold on to his hand. Though your world is demolished, his world is still here. Welcome to his world. This next one is based on an experience I had January 31st, 1969. And it's titled Your Call, January 31st, 1969. I heard you call my name. You did not use your mouth. My ears did not hear it. Yet I heard your call more clearly than any voice I have heard or ever will. More familiar than any loved one, calling me out of myself, the body rising up, no resistance, the tug in the center of the forehead, between the eyes, an invisible cord or rope pulling me out of myself, the heart saying yes, yes always. What if this happened and I really did give myself to you? Where would the I go? Where would I be now that I am with you and without you? Never believe a poet. Never believe a poet. He will tell you it is sunny, still, and bright, when it is dark, windy, and clouded. He will tell you the beauty of the moon, stars, and planets, when all he really sees is the void. He will tell you that life is all song and dance, when his mouth is shut and his legs useless. He will tell you all is tickety-boo, when all he sees is an encompassing madness. He will tell you everything you thought you wanted to hear, yet he hasn't a clue what comes next. He will tell you he is hungry and thirsty, though he is a glutton. Look closely. You can see the ink from his pen dripping from the corners of his mouth. He will tell you sweet things when all he's tasted is bitter and beguiling. Never listen to a poet when he talks of love, when he tells you what it is to give with no thought of receiving, or of embracing the unembraceable, or falling at the master's feet every moment. Never ever listen to a poet when he talks of love. I'll tell you a secret. With one move, we are checkmate. This game was determined long ago. You never stood a chance. Game over before it began. The beloved prepared a packet for you. Each one has his own. A gift from the beginningless beginning, wrapped with his infinite care. Never question what is in your packet, or why another has more or less. Infinite wisdom knows no bounds. His gift keeps giving. I'll tell you a secret if you never reveal it to anyone. The beloved remembered you before the dawn of time. His children are numberless, yet each has a name. It is his duty to bring each one home. I should say that Monty said that about Baba preparing a packet for each of us. And I always thought that was such a beautiful thing. And that we should never look, she would say, at another's packet. So I love that expression. End of the world. This morning I saw in a bowl of unfinished oatmeal the end of the world. Not as you might expect, with a crash and a bang, but with an infinite beauty instead. I can't begin to tell you what I saw within that bowl. As the vision passed, before I realized what I had witnessed. Was it really the end? Or just another beginning? My life is like this, caught up in between. If I could only have picked up my spoon and finished what I started, I would have probably noticed the smile on your face, the tears in my eyes. Time stopped. Time stops whenever I am with you. Let the heavens fall. Thunderclap. The resultant displacement of air. An ominous unsettling. a gathering of clouds, an unpeaceful assembly, renegades turning gray, then black, suggesting malevolent intent. Barometer falling, animus rising, lightning flashing, liquid reciprocity, hell breaking loose. Let it come. Let the heavens fall. No resistance, come what may. The blue around the edges, the sun just beyond view, will welcome us once again. A world renewed, a world where you are the promised light, the destroyer of every sudden, sullen storm. Musings. Never ask what I am thinking. What am I doing? Don't ask me anything. The answer is, I don't know. I don't know this. I don't know that. I could go on and on like time does. Everything is a lie. Look in the mirror. One bold-faced lie looking back at you. Love never lies. Though many lie about love. One lies you low, another lifts you high. I don't know about love, but if I did, if you were asking me, I would say the same thing. If you don't ask me, I might know more than I know. The journey. How long did it take to approach you? As stone, I waited and waited. As grass, I was moved by your breeze. As insect, I crawled the lonely ground. As bird, I flew toward your heavens. As creature, I cared for my own. As human, I stood so I could walk and find you. How many eons did I travel, looking here and there, never finding you, always looking, the eyes looking out, then turning inwards, a billion missteps along the way. The journey nearing end, once your name became a coat, a garment that covered me. The more I say your name, the closer you come to me, the more I come to you. I have become a stone once again, sheltered beneath your lotus feet. Pick me up, O Lord, and hold me to your heart. I can go nowhere without you. This love. This love is more fragile than a solitary strand of hair, uplifted, caught in the sudden sweet enchantment of the summer wind. This love is more delicate than a newborn blade of grass rising from the womb of the warm earth. This love is fickle. Its moods are indecipherable. Patience is more than a virtue. Everything depends upon your glance. Will the light of your eyes find me and favor me? I wake each morning for this, tears falling for no reason, except maybe the realization that I have somehow missed you. My constant dreaming, keeping me distracted from noticing you have already come to my door. There was a time. There was a time before this time when I more than remembered you. I was with you, maybe not materially, but present just the same. When was this time? How can I find it now? Where does it exist? This memory that produces such an aching longing. The atmosphere is what I remember. Bittersweet, suffusing everything, glow and afterglow. The heart has its own memory, stretching beyond the endurance of time. Your resonance is always here in this ever-beating heart. Missing parts. We all have missing parts. The Master takes them as needed. Not for him who needs nothing, but for us who need everything. We don't know it, but we asked for it. A part during the dark of night, a part during breakfast, something here, something there. It's all a losing game. I saw someone smiling just yesterday. They were singing a happy song. They seemed to have many missing parts. Loss is gain, it seems. The secret is this: to give before he takes. Give him your all. There will be nothing left to take. He will be happy, and you won't miss what he's been taking. Dreams end. Can one measure the distance between the lover's heart and the beloved? This separation is illusory, like the space from here to here. The world is a window. Everything comes and goes. Watch the show. There is nothing here. Everything passes before your eyes. The lover dreams the dream of love. The beloved stands over him, watching, always watching, knowing time is no matter. What else is there but dreams end? The lover waking, the show over, beginning and end are one. The Weaver. How many times have my bare feet crossed this carpet? God only knows what I was thinking as I walked over it. Today, as the light filtered just so, I saw the design as the weaver intended, and fell into a contemplation, an enchantment, so deep I forgot everything for a sweet while. The weaver became you. I saw you at your loom, holding the warp of me, waiting for your hands to move the weft of me. When I came back to myself, the light had changed, though a stillness pervaded, remained. I will never look at this carpet without remembering you and everything you always do to pull me through the fabric of this world. Now, Chris, this last one, I'm going to reveal something about what goes into the making of a John Dennison poem.
All right.
You know, I don't know what I could reveal, because most of these, I think I've told you, Jenny, I write most of them during the middle of the night.
Right.
I'll write
You
them.
don't know where they come from.
No,
Right.
I just wake up and I write them.
This is called self-reflexive writing. It is. I mean, like a film that includes in it the making of the film, like eight and a half by Fellini is self-reflexive.
I know exactly what you're saying, and what I'm going to talk about is going to sort of articulate just what you're saying.
Okay.
So, this next poem is titled Evening Song. Now, before I go to sleep at night, most nights, Anita will read to me, and sometimes it's a quote from Baba, or a section from a book about Baba. Sometimes it's poetry, usually by the Perfect Masters. And in this case, Anita had read to me a poem by the Perfect Master poet from Maharashtra, where Baba's from, Tukaram. Baba said about Tukaram that he was one of his favorite poets, like Kabir. Of course, we know Hafiz was his favorite, but Kabir and Tukaram were two of his favorite poets. I heard Tukaram quoted from, during the early days when I'd go to India, I would hear Adi K, Jal, Mani, Mansari, others. So, I always had this image of Tukaram as being great. He wrote Marathi, but they would of course quote it to me in English. So the other night, just a couple nights before going to sleep, Anita read this poem from Tukaram, and I'm going to read it out because there's an image in it that becomes something that is utilized in this poem. It was mysterious to me. As I looked around me, I see that all is worthless. Reveal to me the snares of illusion, O God. I do not cling to any of my surroundings. I am pure and enlightened within. Take off the veil of illusion that thou hast spread between us and thee. Do not drive us mad, O God. Why hast thou ordained such expressions as my soul and the universal soul, when thou knowest the truth? In thy desire for service, thou hast takest no thought for us. Thou sendest us wandering from door to door. Since I have now discovered the truth of this union, keep far from me the notion that we are two. Tuka says, why should I desire the shadow? The wild geese perished in the starry sky. Now that last line, the wild geese perished in the starry sky, was so mysterious to me, and it was such an image, that I asked Anita to read it again. And then, the last thing I do before I go to sleep, besides remembering Bob, is sort of remember my day. And what could I have done better, how, and give it all to Bob. So earlier that day, the Rileys had invited us over to their house, and we were in the backyard. And it was a very intimate time. Tom had just remembered something that he had totally forgotten in terms of his meeting with Bob at the center in 1958. And so Kathy asked him to read to us what he had remembered, and it was just profound and beautiful and very intimate. They asked me to read some poetry, and I did. And it was just a very, very loving feeling. And then the last thing is Kathy said, I'm going to give a little concert tomorrow. And, I'd like you to come. Now, this is big for us because we don't go out much and everything. This would be 2 days in a row that we're over there. And we did end up going over there. It was beautiful. Bobby Bernstein came over, and she sang something really beautiful. I was sitting in the backyard just looking up at the sky. I mean, it was just in another world. Kathy sung some beautiful songs, as did Bob. Anyway, so my last thought was about Kathy, who had sung for us on our wedding day, and I was thinking back, remembering that, just how beautiful and how touching the song that she sang was. One of the songs she sang in our house over in Pinewood Acres where we lived was "Fold Me Up in Your Arms." And I don't know if you've ever heard that song, but it's just beautiful. Pardon me, Anita? Fold us up in your arms. Thank you. Mayhair. Anyway, so that was the last thought I had. So the reason because this will give you an idea then of when I woke up a few hours later, this is what. Oh, I want to say one other thing. Tukaram, in the last year before Bob had dropped the body, Bob would ask the Mandali in Guru Prasad to stand up and read a quote from Tukaram. Pardon me, Anita?
Occasionally.
Yeah, he did this several times, occasionally, in the last year. And the quote, "Just be and watch as things take place." Anyway, I wanted just to mention it. So when I woke up, this is what I wrote. Evening song. I saw the solitary songbird soar into the starry night. Her evening concert still echoing, resonating in my heart's ear. Where was she flying so quickly? Where did she make her home? Was she heading toward the Seven Sisters? Toward Orion's belt and beyond? Did she know the effect her plaintive voice would have on my next hours, days, and years? When I awoke in the middle of the night, a full moon had softened the star-swept darkness. I searched the sky for that wondrous bird, knowing I would never see her again, nor hear her mystic, resplendent song. I often remember that golden hour when my heart flew out of itself, reaching, searching beyond the confines of time in that celestial, luminous night. And that's it for today.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, Chris. J. Bob.
J. Bubble.